Hello and welcome to yet another Yapping with me, Fellonius the Wizard. Today I'm going to talk about something that might be totally different in your country compared to mine. So it's food waste. Now we buy a lot of food and we produce a lot of food. So there are two levels of this. The food that we throw away ourselves is mostly because we made too much food. I usually make lunch boxes, so I have food enough. I never throw food if it's edible. I only try to throw food that had gone too old, and that is nowadays taken into some sort of mull. So we make compost of it, which is nice. So it's not a waste as such. We make new soil, and thereby we are saving some of the problems. But it's not really us, the consumer, that is the biggest problem, is it? It is actually the producers of stuff and the buyers of these producers. I mean, a store just takes in what they think they might sell. Let's say they take 20 packages of sausages. Sausages is good. And they sell 18. That means that there are 2 packages that is not going to be very good to eat after a certain date. Now, normally, they just go and throw it. And then homeless people go and pick it up from the bin and eat it and get sick. Well, that's how I think it is like in the United States. But over here we don't do that first. They do it this way. If the store takes too much, they lower the price like 50% when there is still 2 days left of the package of sausages. Then suddenly I came by, I can eat this today and it will be fine. Or I can take it home and put it in the freezer. Then it's good for a long period of time. But I have to remember, of course, that as soon as I pick it up from the freezer, I have to use it immediately. Because it was old when I bought it for half price, and it's still old. Now, I do that a lot. I actually do that very much a lot. And it is one thing. It's a line from a lyric from a song that's, I think it's called When We Stay Together. And now I really hope that Stephen Flagg doesn't listen to my yappings, because now I'm going to say something that he doesn't like. It's from the Canadian group Nickelback. Personally, I like that song, When We Stay Together, but that doesn't mean that Nickelback is a good band. But it says, when we can feed a starving world with what we throw away. People are starving all over the world, and we just throw away food. There is something wrong with that. If I don't participate in the throwing away part, that doesn't mean that the other guys don't starve. Of course they do. They still starve. But perhaps it makes us produce less, and perhaps it makes us export more, and then we can also give to our different types of associations that are helping people in need, of course. So perhaps there is a better way of doing it. But I have that line, and I had a mother who never allowed us to throw away food. If we took too much food on our plates, we had to eat it up. There was no discussion about that. And my father actually, he went a little bit worried about that, because he wanted to leave food sometimes. But no leaving food. And if you don't eat up, you don't get any dessert. That's the main thing. That's Sunday dessert, of course, back in the Sunday dinners. And I actually still believe in that. And my son still believes in that, and I don't know if he's even brought up to have that thought, but he's also a very conscious guy, so perhaps he has taken it from YouTube or whatever. But food waste is a very important thing, because we produce way too much food and we don't eat it all. And then suddenly there's going to be more food waste. There's going to be mountains of meat and stuff, at least in Europe, when we are now trying to become vegan, or whatever they say, vegetarian. I'm not really into that yet, but of course I like all types of food. There's not many food that I don't like, so I eat most of it, but I don't want to be a vegetarian or a meat guy or whatever they think you have to be. I just want to eat food that is healthy for me. Hopefully I've made myself, because that is mostly what I want to do. It's not often I do it nowadays, but I don't want to go and buy food and then throw it away. It was too much. Now, there are some exception, of course, to the rule. Let's say that you take a pizza. Let's say that you take a family pizza. Yes, you probably don't do this, but it might happen in some cases. The crust. I usually leave the crust. Or if I have a dog around me, usually that one who is going to eat the crust. But I actually leave the crust, because the bread part is actually the one that's making me full. So how do you do it? How do you take care of making sure that we don't throw away food too much? It's, as I said, it's not like if you eat up all your food, suddenly the starving people are getting more food. They don't. That is a totally different type of politics. But do we really need to throw away so much food? Well, let me know in the comments. Until next Sunday, take care. Thank you for listening. Bye.